Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner, my hard mode playthrough. We are in Lake Kovd garage. Lake Kovd? Is it a silent D? Lake Kovd? But anyway, we're in the garage. The Loadstar's in. I'm going to buy another Scout, and that's not dissing the Loadstar, but as discussed in comments. Well, it's nice to mix things up, but also I almost bought this one instead of the Lodestar, and it might be more suited to this map. But that doesn't mean to say the Lodestar's finished by any stretch. But I am going to buy the six-wheeler, and it's a different type of vehicle, and it'll be a bit of fun, and I can afford it, so why not? So let's get that purchased, and then I'm going to continue scouting. Go back to pick up the reconnaissance trailer and continue scouting, but using a different scout. So yeah, let's just get on with it, and we can talk while we're driving. So I'm not going to upgrade the engine. I've got two upgrades to install, but especially the middle one, poor fuel efficiency. Although actually the consumption doesn't change from S for any of them, so the power rating goes up, but fuel consumption stays the same. But unless I'm in a vehicle that feels like it needs more power on these maps, I think it's more sensible to try to avoid putting the bigger engines in. And then if it feels like it's like this one says that it burns through fuel at an alarming rate, even though it remains an S-class fuel consumption rating. So I'm just going to leave it with stock engine until I feel it's underpowered, and then we'll see. Gearbox, I am going to put the freeway higher speed engine in rather than the SnowRunner, just again to mix it up. And I had a comment about the Lodestar saying that the high range gearbox might be better for some of the scouting activity here, so we'll see how we do with that. We can always change it. Suspension, there's no options there anyway. 49-inch, so 6-wheel drive 49-inch tires, chained. Obviously I'm buying a chain. Feels like this would be one of the problems with the Lodestar, is it does bottom out on things, whereas with this one, that third axle in the middle will hopefully allow it to get over things that it otherwise would bottom out on. I'm always going to put an autonomous winch in. I know that there are circumstances where an advanced Scout is better, but I'm always going to use an autonomous winch because it just gives me better options to recover myself. Don't think I really need a snorkel, but I don't feel right not putting a snorkel on a truck. And obviously I'm going to want the roof rack for the extra 120 litres of fuel, plus some decent repair points. So I'm going to have to fuel that up when I leave the garage. Paint job, I'm going to stick the DLC paint job on there because I quite like that charging bull colour scheme. That looks quite good. And then I think there wasn't a lot here to worry about too much. So the roof, okay, so the roof rack came with 3 spotlights on it, and then that just puts 2 extra spotlights. Why wouldn't I? I like that. I like spotlights. I was looking through this. I like the pipe welded. Sell the stock. $100, yay. MISC, I don't think there's anything I'm not really worried about beacons or horns. I don't think they do anything useful, or visors. So that's it. Oh, wait, do I want to change the rims? Nah, I don't really care. They're fine. So, new truck. And it's daylight, so let's get on with it. And then the first activity we're going to do is another scouting contract where you have to visit different waypoints. Right, so it's quite rolly. Watch it on cornering. I think I got the Lodestar rather than this in the first place, just because I knew the Lodestar was no regrets for long-term addition to the fleet. Whereas this, I'm not sure. It looks like it would be a thirsty truck, but the Lodestar was thirsty the way I was using it. And if this can get through the terrain easier, maybe it'll burn less fuel. and then I've got the Action there. I might tow it back out with me. I haven't got anything in mind to do with it just yet, but I might just take it out and have a sort of second vehicle, as has been pointed out in comments. This is probably a map where you end up rescuing the rescuer quite frequently and having a second vehicle. Might be a good idea. So cat into the yard. It's just the 1 litre that I've used coming out of the garage plus... Oh, so this is another one. That's strange. So I haven't refueled. I've just bought this, and that roof rack is pre-filled. That doesn't always happen, so it's a bit inconsistent, my experience. I've definitely bought roof racks that have been empty until I refueled them. So yeah, a bit inconsistent. Right, so yeah, I think I will. I think I'll tow the Action with me. It's funny, this looks like quite a big truck next to the Action, even though the Action's now on raised suspension. So this for a Scout looks pretty big. But I think I'll take them both, and then we're going to do this almost afloat. And the main reason is the other 2 rescuer activities are locked behind it. So once I've done almost afloat, I can then access these 2 and get on with getting more stuff done, basically. So I might not take the Action the whole way, but I'm certainly going to pull it out so far and then maybe leave it around here. And then the Action can go north, because I'm pretty sure there's a 1 slot here to recover and bring back. So that'll be a job for the Action to do, basically. So yeah, we're going to do some scouting. And at the start of the scouting, we'll take the Action with us on a rope. I won't bother turning the engine on for now, save a bit of fuel, and see how we do. The Lodestar dragged the broken Action back, no problem. So I'm assuming that this will pull this one out. So this Yar has engageable all-wheel drive. Diff lock is always on. So I'll leave the all-wheel drive off as much as I can, save a bit of fuel. But diff lock is always there. Interesting combination. And let's get some stuff done. That's a screenshot there, isn't it? That's got to be a thumbnail there, isn't it? You don't mind me taking a slight delay to put a thumbnail on. Right, so I'm going to come down off here. Really? What's that stuck on? It's stuck on that, really? Back them both up. There we go. Let's turn the engine back up again. Oh, I just drove over some braking stuff there because I wasn't looking. Be careful. I'm busy looking at my towed vehicle. So let's get to this. Which side? Yeah, that is the side. Right. Next one. So this is good blue, solid, frozen road. And I think one thing I've learned between sort of episodes 2 and 4, when I was going back and like looking at what I did playing the game, to compare it with what I've now learned, is this looks like it would break. basically use this lake, this frozen lake, as a road rather than using the road. And I guess that makes sense at certain times of year in these places that get a deep freeze. The frozen water becomes the route that you would travel. So yeah, I edited one of the videos and I'll quickly jump into the map to show what I mean. I edited a video where I think I went up. I think it was here. Yeah. So I came down in whatever vehicle I was in. I came down here and I had to get to this frozen in time. So I went over this. And then as I was editing it, Editor Atlee was saying, well, why didn't you just go around there? That's a road, mate. It's just frozen. So yeah, I've made that job a lot harder for myself when I should have just accepted the fact that the ice is a road, provided you got the chains on and you avoid the brakey stuff. Okay, so just looking at this while I'm fiddling around driving it, is all-wheel drive is 6-wheel drive. Turning all-wheel drive off is still like diff lock and 4-wheel drive. The front two axles are driven. It's only the rear axle that goes off when you're not in all-wheel drive. So again, it's going to be pretty capable with effectively 4-wheel drive and two carried wheels. I just missed it. I just drove right past the spot and then damaged that one. Let's just spin around, go back and get that. I like this. I like this so far. Too busy talking and I missed the thing I was driving for. And then the next one's further ahead. So let's just have a quick look. I'm not sure how far down I have to go. I might take the Action with me anyway, because I think there's a cargo job that I can do with it. I just ran the Action into the back of myself and damaged my back door, my back of a brand new truck. So I've just remembered there's a thing in there to do as well. So let's get this marked before I forget it. And then I'm going to leave the Action there. And I've just remembered, so Mark 5 is pretty close, but before going into there, yeah, Sites of Military Glory. It's a contract. So there's a bunker right here, and I'll go in and tag this bunker while I'm next to it. And then I'll continue with the other one, because the other two bunkers are up north. Ish. So find a way in here, basically. What did I just do? Why can't I winch to those big old chunks of metal? Surely they would be solid enough. Or that concrete pyramid, that would be solid enough as well. I was thinking about trying to get up there, but obviously not. Hey, what was I told? I was told take two vehicles because you will constantly be needing to rescue yourself. Well, as it happens, here's another vehicle. And this is the theme of this map, isn't it? So the Yar is quite rolly. I know that was my fault, but even so, the Yar is quite rolly. I don't feel massively confident in its stability I love this little Action. It's a funny looking thing. It's just a fun little truck. Right, handbrake, get it into low ratio so I can put the diff lock on. And chuck a rope onto there. And pull. Engine on. Switch vehicle. And try that again. Nobody saw that, right? So what is my way in here? Can I fit through that gap? Is that a gap? Depends on the clip box of that metal beam. Okay, that was the easier route anyway. Big old bunker. It looks like that's had artillery mounted on those pivots, I suppose. Yeah. Right, so that's that one. That's not a lot of snow considering how slow it's going. Yeah. Okay, so it's not the fastest Scout, but speed isn't everything. Let's get back out, get back on with the other one. I think for this concept of taking two vehicles around with yourself, obviously the Lope is a really good candidate to drag around as a second vehicle. Good amount of fuel for the weight of the thing you're towing. Let's get the Action back. So I'm going to reactivate that I'm on the almost afloat. 3 more marks to hit. And then jump into the Action. Get it back on a tow rope. And get on with it. Daylight's wasting. I think I'm safe to come out here. Yeah, I'm going to take the Action down and load some wooden planks on it because I know I need one lot of wooden planks up north. And I may as well take that with me. And there was an upgrade near here, wasn't there? Not too far from here. Right, that's that one finished. Almost afloat. Now we only have to give the message to our friends in the camp. Maybe after that they will be on their guard. So, engine off. Let's have a quick look at what we need to do next. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the Action. I'll leave the Yar here for a minute. Jump into the Action. And then I'm going to take the Action and grab the wooden planks. And I'll come back and get the Yar. And then take the Yar up to meet its scout trailer and we'll continue the scouting phase. Meet our friend the crocodile. Bypass the Lope. Just put some lights on, coming into dark, load up some wooden planks, and get out of here. And an opportunity to see what the crane is like on this truck. Because I don't expect it to be a very stable vehicle for craning supplies onto itself. Cargo, wooden planks on the loading platform, please. Crane mode, legs down. I don't know how stable this will be with the crane because it's a tiny little vehicle. And I also don't know how stable it'll be with cargo on. I know wooden planks are a good test because they're not the heaviest cargo, but they'll give me an idea of the stability of the thing is like. What a cute little delivery vehicle. Go back and meet the Yar, and then with the Yar, we'll head up to where I left the radar trailer. Right, which is the best one to actually tow, do you think? I think I'll stick to towing with the Yar. Let's get back out into this view. I think I'll stick to towing with the Yar and have the truck. They're much of a muchness in terms of size. And then what I'm going to be doing is taking... So this timber's got to go here. But for now, it's get back to the radar trailer. Jump into the Yar. Coming into dark now. It's off the wrong winch point. Again. Let's just do it manually. It's a bit funny sometimes how it... which winch point it selects to do. So... being careful, obviously. We've got to creep our way through the ice this way. And treating this as a road, but learning the routes is key to this map, I reckon. So let's whack this into high. I don't like the look of that, but I'm going to gun it anyway. Gun it. Okay, so it's got a stick speed gearbox. I don't think high makes much difference. I think the comment was that high is more fuel efficient, which makes sense. Ooh. Now, I don't fancy crossing that. Does that run all the way? It does. So I think that looking at the lighting, I think the crossing point for that is actually back there. As you can see in that dusk lighting, you can see the bits that are going to break a bit easier, and Friday confirmed that in a comment that that when that shading looks like that, that's the stuff that's breakable, or more. That's the stuff that is obviously breakable. There's probably other bits as well, but that wouldn't have been a safe thing for me to cross, even though in daylight that might have looked fine. I guess you can, that's basically the water rendering through the ice, and you can only see it in the dark. Yeah, it's definitely not the fastest Scout there is. It's funny that maybe it's because it's towing, but it won't shift up into 5th or 6th gear. But it is relatively fuel efficient. So I'd rather avoid buying any more trucks now for a little bit, unless I sell some of my fleet, which is an option that I'm not allergic to. But yeah, I made a dent in my balance sheet buying this Yar, which I don't regret, but yeah, I'm not going to be too frivolous with money. Is this where I said that I would leave? Almost. Let's just move that ahead. Yeah. Just get a bit further ahead, and then I'll leave the Acteon with the timber, and I'll go off with the Scout, get the radar trailer, and I want to get that northeast corner of the map uncovered, basically. Right, I think that's actually a good enough place to leave the Acteon. It can self-propel to wherever it needs to go next. And then get rid of that. And I am coming down here and pick up my trailer. And I think that's the next one that I'll do as a task, is I need to get up to this meteorological point. And in the process passing what looks like a Zix, actually, thinking about it. That's probably a Zix. Yeah, let's get up to that corner of the map. This particular activity that I'm doing right now makes sense of why the Tatterin can't take a trailer. Because if you could attach this recon radar trailer to the back of the Tatterin, that's probably the only Scout you would ever use. And that would be boring, wouldn't it? So it kind of makes sense that that's why they did it. Alright, let's get hooked up. Engine off. And see where I gotta go. I think I spin around. Well, this looks wet, but let's get up this trail, see what this trail's like. Come in and see what this ice is like. Check out that Light Brothers task. It looks like a Zix to me. A small four-wheeler Zix. And then we'll grab that meteor path and then probably push on and use a radar about here, and then get the Zix on the way out, maybe. Or if it is a Zix, I'm assuming it's a Zix. So yeah, spin it round. Turning circle's not horrible on it, it's not amazing, but it could be worse considering the wheel configuration we're working with. Yeah. Doesn't really need all-wheel drive all the time. but it is definitely useful. When you kick it in, you can see the difference. That spindly little titanium tree in the front is what I was aiming for. Good stuff. See how this truck behaves the first time I put it into wet stuff. That's pretty deep, mind. Titanium tree. They don't even flex that. Spindly little thing like that, and they don't even flex. Those things are just... It's like they defy physics, those little trees. Not complaining. Very convenient. So quite the snowy path. Maybe pulling the Zix out with this truck might not be too much fun. And I don't think this is an engine power. So as you'll remember at the top of the episode when I bought this truck, I chose not to put the more powerful engines in it. I don't think this feels like a power problem. I think it's just geared as not a particularly fast truck. I'm pretty sure this isn't one that I get to keep. I don't think. I wouldn't mind keeping it. I'd quite like a look at one of these. I wouldn't mind one of these for free. Engine off. Kind of similar class of vehicle to the Action. I'm not sure that it's got exactly the same capabilities. And that's a 2-slot cargo bed on it by the look of it, but what's the task? So $6,000, and the reward doesn't say vehicle, so I'm pretty sure this is just a recovery job. Let's see if it needs fixing as well. Start tracking it. So it does look like it needs fixing. I've got some repair points on me. Let's have a look. 230. So I'm just shy. I think I've got 300 points on me. And then I would have to give it 80 litres of fuel as well, which I'm not comfortable that I could do. And then once that's done, I don't know whether that's a delivery job or whether fixing it is enough. Could you help me? I bought some boards to the meteor station, but I got stuck and ruined half of my vehicle. Could you get me to the mechanic? Be a friend, okay? Yeah, I'll be a friend, definitely. I will be a friend. I'm a friendly kind of trucker. But, fuel situation. I've got 300 points. And it requires 319, so I couldn't repair it anyway. And fuel-wise... Now trust me, mate, I will be a friend. But just for now, I'm actually going to take your fuel if you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. I'll take your fuel and I'll use it to get a vehicle to come and rescue you. Bear with me. I am a trustworthy kind of guy, believe me. I know that feels like I just stitched you up, but have a little faith. We get to this waypoint and get this one done while I'm in the area. And I'm going to come in with probably the Tatterin or something bigger to rescue that. Maybe even one of those recovery add-ons. The thing that lets you turns a truck into a tow truck. I've mentioned that in a couple of episodes in the past. But it's a bit of the game that I've never played with, so I quite fancy. I'm not actually going to take... Is this a dead end? It is, isn't it? So actually, right now, there's no reason for me to take the little trailer up here. Because I'm at the north of the map. So I will... Engine off. I'm actually going to use this trailer here because it will show me a fair bit of this map, this corner. And then I'll leave the trailer, go up, get the POI, come back, grab a trailer, turn around and go out again. I don't need to drag the trailer up the hill, basically. So what did that show me? Yeah, there's no route for me to get from this meteorological station down to that corner. And that corner isn't too far from the ice. So I probably want to use, like if I use the scanner about here, that would give me the whole corner, I think. But I need to go in there for a delivery, but I don't need to go in there for anything else at the moment. Yeah. So I'll take the Yar up the hill on its own. All-wheel drive. And then I'll grab a trailer on the way out. Was that a bit mercenary taking the fuel out of that guy? He's going to get it back, because otherwise I can't complete the task. So it's not like I stole it. I definitely just borrowed it. Dead calm. Still working? Alright, provided everyone is safe, back to work then. So there's a pretty bleak little place to live, but they got a beehive, so they got plenty of honey. They got a fuel tank. That little shed to me looks like it's going to be steps down into some kind of underground bunker. I think that's a little bit sus. Survivalists living up here. It's all good. I think I should come back and get my trailer, turn around. It would be nice to see if I can maybe get across here. I know there's a little bit of rock work there, which I struggled with in the Lodestar. Maybe that'll be a good test, just to see how well this does getting over this types of rock. Get to here, because although I don't think I need to go into there and into the supply delivery until I've got my supplies. But if I could get to here. That looks like a good spot for the radar trailer to just expose that corner of the map. That's definitely my play. And it's coming into daylight. Perfect. Lights are on. It's funny that nobody comes out to talk to you, isn't it? And one thing as I mentioned earlier, I've been playing a bit of Farm Sim. And one thing that is quite funny when you start, having played SnowRunner as much as I have, it's quite funny to be in a game that while you're driving a vehicle, if you tap E, your character jumps out and walks around. Your farmer gets out of his tractor and walks around, and you can look at stuff on foot. And although this isn't an exploration game on foot, there's areas of terrain that I'd love to explore on foot. Just to look at what they've built. I think they've done such a good job of the terrain that I'd like to be able to see more of it, frankly. Right, so I need to turn this around. I'm just going to, for now, use that side winch point to get this trailer to spin around. So that I can hook it up properly. That'll do. Not very often that my plans actually work. I'll take that. So that's quite a big bank. Right, so I'm going to try and climb over this, or weave my way through the rocks for this bit. There are tyre tracks here, so it kind of does look like a trail again, although I use the phrase trail laughingly. Is this underpowered? See, if the wheels are spinning, I don't feel it's underpowered. Underpowered for me would be the engine stalling. Or would a more powerful engine just bully its way through? Let's just caterpillar it. There's a route there I can do, definitely. It's just that trailer is making it a little bit. Maybe it is underpowered. Taking the trailer off makes quite a difference. Let's get down the hill a little bit. Let gravity help me. It doesn't have great snow performance. That's not a lot of snow. This thing should be chomping through this. You know, I'm not bottomed out on anything. A 6-wheel drive should chomp through this stuff, I would have thought. The Tasman would probably be doing 40 kilometers an hour by now. Beautiful, isn't it? The terrain. Love it. Another screenshot opportunity. Always taking screenshots. Never know which one will fit the theme of the episode best. Get this corner of the map exposed, and then we can start thinking about next priority, getting over to the Ford. Oh, have I missed this trail? I have, haven't I? I looked at the map and then totally missed the trail, but anyway. See, if you could get out and go on foot, I'd jump up on top of that rock and have a decent look at the terrain. Right, so engine off. Activate the radar. And let's see what's going on in this corner of the map. And I'm hoping that this should expose the whole northwest corner. Or at least well enough that I don't feel the need to do any more. Didn't expose anything in terms of tasks. Yeah, it didn't quite reach the corner of the map, did it? I thought I'd get, maybe I needed to be there. I thought I'd get slightly better coverage than that. And it also didn't expose any of this stuff. But I can get that if I bring the truck down to here. So I'm not going to push into the corner because I know I've got to go there for a delivery. So I've got to come up through this road with something that can do a delivery of, I think it's single slot. Yeah, service spare parts. So that might be that I'm coming up through here with the Acteon. But now, can I get down through? I guess if I can get down to this ice and then use the ice as a road and avoid the actual road and learn the lesson that I mentioned earlier on that I thought I'd learned. I'm going to do that, and then that'll be the close of the episode, really, I think. I'm close enough to the corner of the map with that supplies delivery one that I don't feel a need to drag the radar all the way up there. Yeah, so that's wheel spinning, therefore it can't be underpowered. Not having the SnowRunner gearbox obviously might make me more fuel efficient, but it does give me less options for high speed in low range. Because this is an always on diff lock, it's not as important because you don't need to be in low range so much. You don't need to be in low range to get a diff lock active. Right, straight over this rock onto the ice. I'm trying to avoid going through it, please, driver. Is this where I said I would scan? Yes, it looks like it. I think that's a good spot to scan, because that should cover everything. I don't know if there's anything on this side of the open water piece, but then I would have to get that from the garage side anyway. So yeah, scan here, please. Radar. Let's have a look at the map, see what we got. Okay, so it's an upgrade. Right there. Drop the trailer. And be careful, because it looks easy to get to. And knowing these developers, that means it's a trap. It is there. Oh, they've actually done one that's easy to get to. That's not a trap. Bravo. Why am I disappointed that it's not difficult? Engine off. Engageable all-wheel drive, not for the current truck. Ah, board. So we've got race suspension, or we got active. Was it active we got? Tuned, or... No, we got a suspension for it anyway. We've also now got the engageable all-wheel drive, which is making it all the more pressing for me to get to this corner of the map. But that's why I wanted to finish this side. And from a scouting perspective, I think I am finished. I don't think there's anything else. So that's it for this episode. I'm going to wrap this here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying Kola Peninsula. I am, so hopefully you are too. Next episode we will push across the top of the map with the scanner and get a couple of deliveries done and hopefully get to that Ford pickup truck. But that's all for next episode. So in the meantime, thank you very much and goodbye.